Just when we thought things couldn't get uglier between Mendeecees, Yandy and Erica Mena, the internet erupts with something no one was ready for. Leap intimate tapes supposedly depicting Mendeecees and Erica are now making rounds online, and fans are going absolutely crazy. Is really the actual reason Yandy finally filed for divorce after weeks of drama from Erica's pregnancy rumors? Startling DNA findings showing Mendeecees is the father, and Yandy's dramatic collapse after the discovery. This unexpected surprise has escalated the drama to inconceivable heights. Yandy already knew about these films. Were these tapes the last man in a marriage that was already hanging by a thread? Social media is in full meltdown mode. Some followers think Yandy appeared. Others are seeking answers from both Erica and Mendeecees. In the meanwhile, Yandy is dead quiet. We are not claiming the tapes are true, but if they are, it changes everything. Stay with us as we dissect every painful, emotional, and jaw-dropping detail that set the whole reality TV industry in fire. The morning started like any other day. The sun rose peacefully over Atlanta, sending everything seemed tranquil. But in the world of celebrity drama, serenity never lasts long. Within a few hours, the internet erupted. An anonymous Twitter account leaked a short granny clip that seemed like nothing at first, but those with quick eyes recognized recognizable. Features a guy and a woman in what appeared to be a fancy hotel room. They weren't just chatting, they were caressing and whispering. The guy was obviously Men's Harris, and the lady was Erica Mena. Within minutes, the video circulated like wildfire on Instagram stories, Facebook Reels, YouTube clips, and every platform. Published the film. It was fuzzy, but the voices, tattoos, jewelry, even the way Mendeecees grinned it left little room for dispute. Fans became investigators, zooming into frames, comparing current photographs, and even matching furnishings seen in previous postings. The betrayal seemed personal to those who had cheered for Yandy and Mendeecees throughout their years on reality TV. Supporters were eager to rush to her defense. Many of them recalled how she had kept it all together when Mendeecees was gone, how she looked after their children, maintained the family, and protected his reputation throughout his court difficulties. To watch it all shatter over a scandalous video ripped hearts throughout the nation, but not a word came from her. No comment, denial, or confirmation. But behind the scenes, things were far from quiet. According to a close family friend, Yandy had heard about the films before they surfaced. She had been handed them anonymously 2 weeks previously. She reportedly viewed them alone. In her bedroom behind a shut door with tears flowing down her face, she didn't shout. She didn't throw anything. She simply sat there immobilized. The betrayal wasn't just physical. It was spiritual, disturbed. Her sense of loyalty, trust, and years of shared aspirations. The same insider stated that after viewing the film, Yandy didn't talk to males for 3 straight days and slept in the guest room. She canceled the public appearance, and then she started making discreet steps. She reached out to a lawyer and began gathering financial data. She even changed the locks to her own office in the home. It was the actions of someone who wasn't intending a fight. Yandy was arranging an escape when the video eventually became viral. She wasn't caught off guard. Instead of responding emotionally, she remained silent. She let the world take its own assumptions while she concentrated on protecting her children. Her staff quickly upped security at her house. Paparazzi were already gathering outside her driveway, and news vans parked across the street. However, inside, the attitude was solemn, concentrated, and resolute. However, he handled things differently. He was observed the very following night, at a bar in downtown Atlanta, smiling and drinking cocktails like nothing had occurred. There was no explanation or public contrition, was his method of coping. Others feel he just didn't care. Regardless, the optics were horrible, particularly when mixed with claims that he had been told about the leak days before it occurred. Someone had messaged him anonymously telling him that they're coming for your marriage. Protect it while you can, but he disregarded it and laughed it off. Erica Mena, meantime, disappeared and did not post, didn't comment, didn't admit anything. But silence in a controversy like this can say volumes, and the internet was cruel. People looked through old images, trying to uncover signs. Suddenly, photo from months before of Erica and Mendy attending the same event, previously thought to be coincidence, was suddenly proof. Every gaze, every hand motion was studied. Then came next bombshell screenshots of private dens supposedly between Erica and her former assistant leaked online, in where Erica acknowledged that she and Mendeecees had a moment of weakness while working on a secret brand initiative. She stated it was meant to be a one-time affair. When the assistant questioned Yandy whether she knew Arab, her response was cold. She does now. The film has reached her. I feel bad, but it is too late. The messages were enough to destroy the internet all over again. Influencers started scrutinizing the timing. Gossip networks broadcast hour-long breakdowns, brought up video from love and hip-hop shows where Erica and Yandy side-eyed each other. Now it all made sense: the strain, the uncomfortable electricity. It was never simply television drama. Reel in. The middle of this media frenzy, a picture surfaced showing Yandy exiting family therapist's office with her kid. He appeared little, head down, and she gripped his hand firmly. Witnesses claim, murmured, "You're secure, darling. Mommy is right here." It crushed the hearts of supporters. Everywhere, the tale was no longer simply about adultery, but about a mother trying to keep her children whole as the world watched her come apart. Infinity Yandy's adoptive daughter has just reunited with the family. After a difficult history, they were just starting to mend. Now that Healing was in prison, according to party insiders, has already begun the process of obtaining full custody of both children, not out of spite, but for protection. One relative said that Mendeecees has been attempting to contact Yandy. Since the breach, she has blocked him on everything. He went up to her workplace unexpectedly but was turned away. He left a handwritten note with the receptionist, apologizing for breaking everything Yandy had not read. She informed her team that if he was apologetic, the video would not exist. "I'm done with it. Sorry, not everyone is sure that this is the end. Some insiders believe Mendeecees will strive to rectify things not out of love, but because his image is on the line. The brand deals with show contracts the public character. All of it relies on redemption. Yandy will give him that opportunity, which remains questionable. What is evident is that she is not waiting. Her emphasis is now on her. For years, she protected her children, her peace, and her future. Mendeecees, when no one else would, pulled the family together and performed the role of devoted wife even when it hurt. But now she's choosing herself. And right when fans felt the situation couldn't grow much, deeper when a leaked phone call emerged amid this publicity, something moved within Yandy. She had spent years cultivating her public image as a caring wife, a hardworking mother, a faithful friend, and a powerful woman who stood strong through every storm. And now that the world is witnessing her marriage break apart in real time, she chose to do something different. Rather of hiding behind cleverly prepared blogs or single releases, she opted to confront it. Sources close to Yandy confirmed that she started taping her thoughts quietly on her phone late at night after putting her children to bed. She'd sit in the dark and chat into the camera, no filters or cosmetics, just raw feelings. She wasn't sure what she was going to do with the film, but something told her she may need it later. But for other women who've gone through the same quiet sorrow, she talked about how betrayal seems gradual, poison. How the true agony isn't in the infidelity, but in the contempt that follows, as Mendeecees was progressively realizing the gravity of the issue. His public image was in fire. Fans brands who had previously congratulated him for turning his life around were suddenly filling his comment sections with hatred. Partnership conversations became dead, and even some of his closest industry colleagues withdrew themselves. Bridges were burning one by one, and he didn't have any water to extinguish them. One of the most frightening incidents was when Mendeecees attempted to reach out to Yandy during a religious gathering. He came unexpectedly wearing a suit and with a bouquet of flowers. Cameras were everywhere, but Yandy didn't flinch. She refused to even talk with him in front of the audience later that evening. A footage emerged showing her strolling by him without making eye contact, clutching her daughter's hand. The message was loud and plain. She was done with public performances. She wanted accountability, not Beatrix. And just as many thought, the incident couldn't go any further, and an audio recording was released. A phone Mendeecees chat with one of his close pals was recorded, and he allegedly remarked, "I didn't imagine. It'd blow out like this. I assumed she'd forgive me like previously." The idea that this wasn't the first betrayal struck hard fans, felt cheated themselves. Was the wholesome love tale they'd supported for years merely a neatly edited? Back at home, Yandy wasn't only plotting her next move, protecting her legacy. She has various business endeavors and started assuring all legal papers were in her name solely. She amended her will and signed it, post-nuptial agreement with the assistance of her lawyer, and even started writing a personal biography about the quiet sacrifices women make in the name of love. According to someone in her publishing network, the first few chapters were tough, honest, and passionate. It was not about vengeance. It was about the truth. Erica Mena had returned momentarily in a mysterious Instagram tale. Black screen with white lettering. "We all make errors, but some mistakes are repercussions." It was removed off within an hour, but screenshots circulated immediately. Fans wondered if it was a confession, an apology, or just an effort to control the narrative. Regardless, it threw gasoline to the fire. People started to question whether this was more than an affair. Was there a real emotional attachment or sentiments involved? The talk became darker when an insider stated that male VCs had been surreptitiously seeing Erica for more than 6 months. The alleged rendezvous were scheduled on work trips and distant shoots. Sometimes they met in hotels, sometimes privately, homes of common acquaintances. If true, this wasn't a slip, but a full-blown double. What pained the most was the understanding that Yandy had been preparing a surprise anniversary present for him. She had commissioned a bespoke artwork of their family, which now resided in her wardrobe. Friends close to Yandy observed a difference in her. She wasn't sobbing as much anymore, and she wasn't begging. Why me? She had changed into a new emotional gear, one of clarity, determination. She started spending more time at women's empowerment gatherings, delivering spontaneous remarks and offering little bits about her travels without mentioning names. Yet everyone knew who she was talking about. Her fortitude prompted hundreds more women to share their own tales overnight. Hashtags like "Suckstamby with Andy" started trending, but Mendeecees wasn't ready to let go privately, pleaded for forgiveness. He sent extensive texts, voice notes, and letters, promised therapeutic responsibility and honesty, but Yandy had heard it all before: promises, tears, and transient transformations. She needed more than words, evidence, and so she established a barrier. If he honestly wanted to fight for his family, required to keep out of the limelight totally. No parties, no interviews. There were no picture opportunities, just stillness and consistency. What came next was a bizarre few weeks of Mendeecees have completely disappeared on social media, with no posts or comments, even a narrative. For the first time in years, his digital imprint was dead. Fans Erica worried incessantly about whether he was really attempting to change or whether he was just hiding until the turmoil was over. Received outrage from every part of the internet. Her earlier troubles reappeared. Old tweets were dredged up and she was depicted as a chronic homewrecker, and petitions were established to remove her from certain programs. Sponsors dropped away. Even her closest friends began supporting her openly. She attempted to release an official statement via her manager, But it was received with even greater criticism. At this moment, quiet appeared. Then came the unexpected twist. An old acquaintance of Mindy's shared private images, copies of text chats between him and a third lady, someone who wasn't Yandy or Erica, someone altogether fresh in the male's he. Flirted, coughed, even hinted about vacationing together. The timestamps were current enough to prove that even though his marriage was disintegrating, he hadn't ceased playing risky games. The treachery wasn't only when Yandy viewed those screenshots. It was devastating, according to the family. Member, she didn't weep or scream. She just remarked, "He's not broken, rotten." And that was when she made her ultimate choice. She phoned her attorney and started the formal separation procedure. It wasn't impetuous or emotional, it was planned. She wasn't just leaving a guy, she was preserving her peace. The tale had reached a boiling point, and fans were riveted to screens waiting for the next update, twist, or consequences. But Yandy had gone silent again, this time not because of pain, but because she was regaining, as the world waited for Aoi. Definitive pronouncement. Whispers started circulating about a public closure or maybe a divorce announcement, about something much larger on the future, something that might shock the business even more, something only Yandy she knew and was set to expose it shortly. No parties, no social media postings, no interviews, only silence and acts. Yandy wanted to know whether guys could far from the theatrical world they had been locked in for years. He humbled himself and rebuilt trust in private. It was a test, and for the first several weeks he seemed to pass. He remained away. From cameras stopped club performances and allegedly began visiting private. Even in his efforts to mend, the shadow of the scandal lingered big. People muttered behind him. Their backs, and the internet never forgot. Every time Mendeecees was cited anyplace, conjecture followed. Was he really evolving? Or was this simply another performance where Mendeecees sought to prove he was? Yandy concentrated on her personal path and reunited with people she had previously pushed away throughout the reality. TV pandemonium. She traveled with her children and gave them different experiences. For the first time in a long time, she reminded herself of what actually mattered. Was not working from damage management. She was leading with peace. The world started to perceive a new Yandy, calm, confident. Menace noticed she was shining, which worried him more than anything else, learning how to live without him. But just as it seemed that the dust may finally settle, a new tempest emerged. The private email conversation between Mendeecees and a high-profile event organizer was exposed to a gossip site, referred to the whole cheating issue as a PR blunder, and even offered ways they might use the excitement for mutual brand development. The casual, populated tone was surprising and contradicting everything he had been doing publicly, his apologies, his quiet, and his alleged responsibility. When Yandy read the texts, she did not shout or weep, sat with her phone in quiet, the treachery seeping deeper than ever before. There was no debate this time. Heated confrontation. She just disconnected and stopped responding messages. She ignored his calls and did not reply to the flowers or notes he sent. Was louder than any battle they'd ever experienced. Mendeecees were scared. He showed up, visited her workplace uninvited. He attempted to reach her via friends and family members, but the doors were locked. She had given him a last opportunity, emotionally, spiritually, and maybe for the better, and he transformed it into another show. The media got wind swiftly. Headlines speculated on unofficial separation. Paparazzi swarmed outside their shared house expecting to catch a moving truck, or a sobbing farewell gossip site swarmed with tales of divorce and custody disputes, even covert court visits. One especially aggressive site claimed to have evidence Yandy had filed for. Despite the lack of corroboration, the people accepted it as true. Fan sites exploded. Some criticized Mendeecees, while others questioned Yandy's coldness. The digital battleground was chaotic. As if things weren't horrible enough, another lady came forward this time. Not Erica, not the Atlanta scandal. Someone new. She said she had been seeing Mendeecees informally throughout the months he was apparently concentrating on his relationship. With Yandy, she uploaded screenshots of amorous messages and images of presents he gave, even a little video of him entering her residence late at night. Although Mendeecees' team dubbed her a clout chaser, public opinion was already drifting toward believing. The timetable didn't assist him. It fitted up too nicely with the... During the stated healing time, Yandy remained mute and offered her reaction, in that the most impactful approach is via presence. She released an Instagram video demonstrating her journaling at a park with her children playing in the background. There are no words or music. Peace. The movie was just 20 seconds long, yet it got 5 million views in one day. Comments flowed in. Fans applauded her elegance, courage, and reluctance to engage in the circus. Women from all over the globe started posting their own tales, tagging Yandy and naming her inspiration. This unexpected rush of support drew the attention of the network, behind their program Desperate. To capitalize on the excitement, they gave a rare and exclusive sit-down with Yandy and Mendeecees' feature documentary, style no presenter, no cuts, just the two of them discussing topics on camera. The network pledged complete creative power, anticipating it would become one of the most viewed programs ever. Mendeecees. He eagerly accepted, seeing it as an opportunity for atonement, not only with Yandy, but with the public. He even began scripting what he'd say and visualizing how he could win back hearts and headlines at the same time. But Yandy wasn't interested. She respectfully rejected, did not seek closure in front of cameras. She had already found her healing off-screen in a talk with a close friend. She added, "Why would I reopen wounds just to feed a machine that lives off pain?" Instead, she chose to talk. In her own manner, she planned a private women's healing, gathering with no press or phones, simply straight honest discourse. The event sold out in minutes. Women flew in multiple locations to attend. And when Yandy spoke that night, she did not attack male VCs. She discussed habits, self-worth limits, and the fortitude required to walk away from something you previously begged to maintain. Her statements rippled over social media in the days that followed. Even though the event was private, attendees wrote,